Hello guys, hello everyone. Sorry for the delay. We had a couple hiccups with the setup, but now I think we're back on track. Really excited to be here, and today I want to talk about what Citrea is, what we're doing, and what BAPs are, Bitcoin applications are. And I slightly modified this specifically for this hackathon as well, so we will go over the points. How many of you are Web3 developers here? How many of you have smart contracts? Okay, everyone. Pretty good. Nice. So yeah, just to start with some background, my name is Talip. I'm the DevRel engineer at Citrea. I'm the first hire of the company because the founders were my friends and it was cool. And I used to work on the protocol itself. I was doing protocol engineering. I had done this for about a year, and then because I was, speaking too much maybe, I switched into being a DevRel. But I'm really happy with it. Happy to work with all the cool guys, all the developers around the world. And also, I kind of know and feel how it feels because I attended hackathons in the past. We won some, minor awards in the past as well. So I kind of know how you feel about everything. And yeah, I pretty much spend all my time talking with other developers in hackathons, in the projects, in the ideas, in Twitter, shitposting, whatever. If you have any questions or if you have any jokes to make for me, just come to the booth and visit me and tell me, and we can laugh together. Today I will talk about a couple stuff. I think I will first start with Bitcoin. Obviously you know what it is, but I want to maybe show you my perspective on what it is. And then I will talk about what Citrea is, and then we will go over the things that you can hack in this hackathon. And then right after that, what expects you after the hackathon if you hack on Citrea. So that's the last thing that I will go over. Yeah, to start with, the most obvious point is Bitcoin, as you can know. And even this is also even true in the, very good ETH Global Hackathon. What I mean is, so Bitcoin, starting from its white paper, gained quite a sensation and basically laid the foundations of what we are doing today as an industry. And, obviously price is nice. So if you're holding, you're obviously gaining. But is everything price? Is it what we should always look for? Like, I think because it's getting more recognized and because it's getting more and more used, actually it might be much closer to succeed. What I mean by succeed here is, it can give you the anonymity, give you the independence, give you the financial freedom, give you to resist against any kind of oppression, against any kind of government in the world. So this is actually the core fundamentals that we're seeking for, and these are really important. And by looking at the by looking at the price charts, we always forget this, but this is something we should never forget. It's always about having a sovereign money that is always available to use and that is uncontrollable. And obviously if you're a fan of paper BTC, if you're a fan of stock trading, that's also fine, but never forget where the ideas came from. It all came from this text in the first block of Bitcoin, which is essentially signaling that it's a path to an alternative economy, it's a path to an alternative currency, it's a path to an alternative world. Never forget about this. And yeah, like I shield Bitcoin now, as you may expect, but is it perfect? Well, it depends on your definition, but it definitely has some limitations. What I mean is, like, there's a bunch of limitations actually. To start with, on the right you see script, which is Bitcoin's programming language, which you use to move the money around or you program things in different ways. And on the left you see Solidity code, which is I think some Uniswap code that I don't even remember where I took it from. But the key point is the expressivity and the things that you can do on Bitcoin is actually quite limited because of the programming language, because of the limits of the execution environment. Like, it's an assembly language and the number of elements you can put are quite limited. You cannot do everything, And then if you try to do things, the fees can rise quite quickly and the chain can become unusable. This is a screenshot from some important event someone is doing, and then once the chain gets used, then the fees increase and no one is able to use it. So there are actually quite some limitations of Bitcoin, in terms of cost, in terms of slowness, in terms of, bunch of stuff. And what you can do, maybe you get angry and then you can throw a table. That's also like the reaction we get. But, maybe we can do something about it. Maybe we can change Bitcoin, maybe we can make it better. Fix the, make it faster in terms of block times, make the block sizes bigger. Well, upgrading Bitcoin is a problem. It's really hard because everyone has a different opinion and no one likes each other's opinion. And it's not like the Ethereum world where a foundation or a set of people are dictating what's going to happen and they vote. It's more like you just fight with every Bitcoiner to make sure that they accept the fork, and even in that case, they don't like it. So you cannot change Bitcoin. Even the latest upgrade was 4 years ago, and we're still discussing what should be done, and there's quite a few people who thinks that no changes should be done whatsoever. So you cannot really change Bitcoin. So we eliminate this option. If you want to do more with Bitcoin, you should do it without changing Bitcoin. Then what you can do is maybe you can use other layers. You know, there are side chains, there are other chains which use Bitcoin as the currency. And there's actually demand for it. Like this is a report from Galaxy Research, and people are using Aave, people are using Morpho with Bitcoin derivatives in a bunch of other chains. They hold their Bitcoin and they loan against it. You know, they do a bunch of DeFi stuff and they earn money, which is solid. And it works, you know, to some degree. You still have the Bitcoin and everything is fine. And, you know, you can also check all these derivatives in bitcoinlayers.org, which is, you know, which is an open source project that I really find quite nice. You should check it out. And, you know, there's 30 billion, and that was even in, I think, April or something when I took the screenshot. It's probably even more Bitcoin that are held in other chains. And it's a great idea. You cannot change Bitcoin, you can use alternative chains, which is great. But it comes with the problems. So you see all these money floating around, but all these money is floating around by bridges, by multisigs. And what can happen is you can give your money into a set of people that you don't even know or you just trust. And then you can, you know, go to the casino, earn your new Bitcoin or earn other types of money. And then when you come back to withdraw in your Bitcoin into the Bitcoin network, then that bridge might be gone. That the guy who holds your money can go with it. If there is a multisig of 3 or 5, they can run away. 3 people give signatures or hacked, then you're kind of screwed. That's really bad. So all the current existing solutions has an honest majority multisig that you trust, that you lock your funds and then that you wait for it. And you know, you may end up with some poo in your hand and then your Bitcoin is gone and the mafia stole it and then the bridges are burned. And this is quite a possible scenario that we see in other chains quite a while. Bridge hacks are very possible. So you should be really cautious on what you're using, and you should be really cautious on not losing your Bitcoin. And multisigs currently don't give you that. And you know, a solution to this is, and actually quite a good solution that we're doing, is building a rollup on Bitcoin with a Bitcoin bridge, a better Bitcoin bridge. So this is where I got to explain what Citrea is and what is different. And you know, at the end we're trying to make a better bridge so that your Bitcoin is always safe and you're happy. And this has been in the works for about 2 years. It took us quite a while, but luckily we're getting there almost mainnet, hopefully, this year. So the way Citrea works is, there's a sequencer that produces blocks, and these blocks are getting proved in a ZK prover, in a RISC-Zero ZKVM. And then this data is published on Bitcoin. And with your full node, you can always use Bitcoin as the source of truth and only truth. And you can always check that everything works well. And you can always also check against the validity proof as well. And needless to say, Citrea is an EVM-compatible chain. So if you're using Solidity, you can still use it. And in your contracts, you can use BTC as the native asset. And using this BTC, you can do a bunch of different stuff. You can, you know, fork Morpho, fork Aave, fork Uniswap, and then, you know, use Bitcoin with it, or invent your own kind of DeFi app and then use it. So this is quite a use case, because for these things, you cannot do it on Bitcoin itself. Like there's no environment for it. And, you know, just like any other smart contract, your regular smart contracts will work. Just some examples from our block explorer. And then I talked about bridges, but how are we better, you may ask? Like, why Citrea bridge is better, you may ask? And the answer is we're using a new algorithm called BitVM. This idea is also quite new. It's been, since the research published, it's been 2 years. What BitVM does is, in addition to being a traditional multisig, what you do is, using the ZK proofs, if someone tries to steal the money in a malicious way, you can always challenge them on Bitcoin script and you can always kick them out. That means, for example, if there are 6 people controlling your money, and then if someone is trying to steal some money or if they're trying to collude, anyone can publish a ZK proof and kick them out. So let me elaborate a little bit. What do I mean by, trust minimized bridge, one of them bridge? What does this mean? So the one on top is your regular multisig, is a bridge. And the one on the bottom is, let's say, our bridge design called Clementine. If everything goes well, on top, the 3 people give signatures for your enters and exits. And, you're safe and sound and you can do your trading. And on bottom, for Clementine, our bridge design, only 1 people is enough for a good transaction to happen successfully. But this is a good scenario. What if something bad happens? So let's talk about it. Let's say if 3 people gets hacked in a bridge design, then, your money is gone. And that's quite bad, The 3 people controls your money or they can censor you. In our bridge design, in the BitVM-based ZK bridges, what happens is, if let's say n-1 people are hacked, then still the remaining 1 person can see this and then can use the valid ZK proofs of Citrea saying that you cannot steal this money because no user wanted you to exit, or you cannot steal this money because no one requested it in a valid way. And then they can basically kick every single of these red lines one by one by one by one, and your money will still be secure. So the trust assumption basically comes to this. For this bridge to be unsafe, everyone needs to be hacked. But for the ones above, you only need an honest majority. This is quite an improvement, we believe. Like here in this design, you can basically kick out any malicious entity that's controlling your money. And this wasn't possible before. So it's kind of like if everything goes right, you don't kick anyone. But if something goes wrong, you can kick entities who are trying to steal your money. So it's kind of like an optimistic ZK proof mechanism that we apply here. There's a white paper of it as well, like we can talk about it in the booth. Just visit me and then we can talk over it. Like we did a bunch of stuff in the last 2 years, but I think the main goal is, main idea is, even if like we designed all these things, this cannot win the trust alone, and this cannot make things practical itself on its own. What do I mean is you need an ecosystem, you need some applications or ideas that uses this infrastructure. So that's actually what we're trying to do. We launched Testnet 1 year ago, exactly 1 year and 2 days ago, actually. And then since then, we raised our Series A and seed round, which is a total of 17 million. And then we make all the end-to-end infrastructure ready on Testnet. And then we have a bunch of different partners that I will also come in a short. And since then, we've been, working together with people, founders, hackers who wants to be founders as well. And we're quite happy with it. So what do we offer for you in New Delhi might be the question. We have 2 different tracks. First track is over open innovation. That means, let's say you have any kind of idea from RWAs, from a privacy perspective, from a AI agent, or let's say you have an insurance idea that is not tested before, that is not built before. This open innovation track is for you. Just have any idea and then use Citrea and Bitcoin and then just implement it using Solidity, any smart contract language. And then the second track is more about the DeFi applications, where, you can fork an existing product and then make improvements over it. Or, if you have a newer undercollateralized lending protocol idea, you can implement it. It's more like the money side of things that we're trying to aim in this track. But feel free to, work towards both of them. You can also visit us in the booth, ask for ideas, ask for improvements. We're open for everything pretty much, as long as it works. If it doesn't work, or if it's a previous submission that you did in any other hackathon, I will find it and I will reject it, so don't worry. I'm really picky about it. I also made a survival guide, and also in our documentation there's quite some resources that you can check. We have Hyperlane, we have Layer 0, we have a bunch of swap providers, IPC providers, indexers. Just, if you need any access or any trouble, just find us in the booth. Well, the final question is, I guess, why are we doing this? Like, what's the point of making another Bitcoin L2, another EVM chain? Everyone does this. Why? Well, the thing is, at least the thing that me and my friends believe is, we believe there's an alternative economy exists. that depends on Bitcoin rather than any other country currency. We believe that there's a chance that we can get a decentralized currency to be at the fundamental of the world economy. And basically, this core idea for Bitcoin side is called hyperbitcoinization, where you make Bitcoin as the base asset of the financial world. We quite believe in that actually, and we believe we're now at this green circle intersection point, where the store of value aspect where you hold is going down, and practical use of Bitcoin in terms of impact is going up. That's what we believe. We believe Bitcoin is ready to be used more, ready to be at the center of the whole financial world. And Bitcoin on its own in the current form cannot do that. That's why we're trying to bring an alternative approach that you can use Bitcoin for pretty much everything. At the end of the day, our goal is to have an alternative economy, a self-sovereign money that is only owned by you and that is uncontrollable for anyone else. This is what we're trying to achieve. And we believe Bitcoin is the best asset for this. But because today's Bitcoin is not ready, we offer an alternative approach for it. And, again, like, the ideas are cool, but it won't win it alone. The tech is cool and it won't win it alone. So we need applications, which we call BApps, which means Bitcoin applications that we're trying to onboard. And that's why we also found a community called Citrea Origins. Origins is a community of hackers, a community of founders, a community of any interested people who is trying to build with us for an alternative system that uses Bitcoin on its own. And we basically help anyone who wants to, we help people who is as interested as us in terms of mentorship, in terms of, founding a company, fundraising, going to market strategies, hiring, all kinds of stuff with one-on-one support. Just that, you show us that you're capable of doing, you show us that you're smart, you show us that you're experienced, and then, even if you don't need to be experienced, but show us the courage and then we will help you. And so far we have 7 members of Citrea Origins. Tanari is a self-custodial Bitcoin and EVM-compatible wallet. Nectra is a really good design of a Bitcoin-backed stablecoin that we support. Satsuma is our native DEX. Crest is an RFQ-based trading mobile application that's also self-custodial. Zentra is our money market project. Signals is, you should check it out. It's an extremely good new range prediction market idea. And then Selfie is our offline Bitcoin payments. You can just pay someone Bitcoin using SMS. And Signals and Selfie, we met them in an ETH Global Hackathon this year in Taipei. And then they joined Origins, and now we're quite helping them with pretty much everything they have. But the core idea is we're trying to bring new applications that we bootstrap and that we make bigger for the future, for the future of Bitcoin, basically. And we also host hacker houses with them, in addition to all the talking. And here are some testimonials from them, basically, from 2 weeks ago in Istanbul, basically. We held our second hacker house, and probably we will have the third one in the future as well. Really, we're trying to make a family community that everyone is involved. And lastly, this is a picture from, all the founders and Origins founders and the team from the first hacker house. Actually, the picture is now bigger, but I couldn't find the image for it, to be honest, before the presentation. But we're looking for you to be one of them as well. We're looking for you to join us. So yeah, thank you very much. Thanks for listening, and find me in the booth if you have any questions. Thank you, and nice hacking.